Good afternoon. I'll call the River Trust meeting to order for July 19th. Any items from any of the active committees? Kathy, Gary, anybody have any committee reports? Thank you. Anything on the MAPS 3 subcommittee, which I'm on, and you're on, and there's nothing. Right. Yep. Haven't meeting. In fact, I think it's next week. 27th, yeah. I have the meeting minutes for the meeting of June 21st in your packet. Need a motion to approve? Anybody have any questions, comments, changes? Record your vote. It's approved unanimously. Thank you. Consent docket, sand mining, oil and gas report, and the river corridor events update. Been moved and seconded. Anybody have any questions on those? Record your vote. It's approved unanimously. Thank you. Primary agenda items. Receive quarterly Oklahoma River cruises update. And I know you've spent hours on this report.
I did. I was up all night. First thing I'd like to do this afternoon is introduce you to Shay Loisberg. She's our new events director. She comes to us from the Montgomery, as well as about 7 years as an independent event coordinator. And she's been working on a lot of projects, talking to a lot of organizations, the Chamber, the CVB, Frontier Country. She's been following up from our large event for the Chamber that we had in the plaza in June. And we're very happy to have her here. And if you have any questions for her, she'll be happy to answer them. And then I have for you, I wanted to show you on July 9th, Saturday, 6:30 p.m., Channel 9, their Discover Oklahoma program had a section of the program on Oklahoma River cruises, and I wanted to show you that real quick.
Okay.
If you like meeting those kinds of characters, you can meet them in person. There's a new cruise on the Oklahoma River where there are living, breathing characters right there with you as you relax on the river. Our show Wagner has more.
If you are under the impression that the Oklahoma River cruises were just a means from getting from point A to point B, then you're in for a great surprise.
On board, there's a festive atmosphere, perhaps propelled by the comfort of the climate-controlled cabin, which can seat 24 folks very nicely. And for locals like myself, there's also a giddiness over the fact that you can even do this, that there is a cruisable river in Oklahoma City with actual water in it. Because you may remember a time when that wasn't the case.
Yeah, that was part of the first MAPS program to put in the 3 low water dams to capture the water in the river. It created 3 river lakes. Previous to that, the Parks Department mowed the river. There's even an ordinance still on the books that says you can't park at the bottom of the river.
You can't park on the river bottom, but you'll want to park yourself on a river cruise, and soon. Because even if the novelty of boat travel should ever wear thin, these folks have thought up a bazillion other ways to keep you entertained. William Shakespeare himself was on our boat. And I don't know if you've ever met Bill Shakespeare, but he's not exactly the silent type.
Welcome, ye lords and ladies, ye varlets and varlettas.
He's an actor from Shakespeare in the Park who portrays William Shakespeare. And occasionally he brings one of the other characters from their current plays to ride with him and talk about basically ferry transit back in the 1500s, and then also to promote the plays for Shakespeare in the Park.
On another cruise, we ran into a Civil War soldier.
I want you just to remember is that it happened and it changed the course of America.
The Oklahoma History Center pulls characters from the state's past and puts them on board.
And there's everything from a U.S. Marshal from the 1890s to a society lady, Ann Overholser herself rides with us from time to time, some land runners, and they talk about the history of Oklahoma City.
There's also a whole roster of live music cruises, like this Edgar Cruz cruise.
Did I say I would do it? No.
Imagine taking in the rhythm of the river, all the while taking in the rhythms of a live musical performance. But with all that's happening on the inside of the boat, don't forget the sights outside the cabin. Depending on the cruise you choose, your boat captain will take you through a lock or 2.
It's kind of like going through the Panama Canal, only instead of taking an hour, it takes about 10 minutes. And it's a lot of fun.
The Oklahoma River is alive with kayakers and rowers and wildlife.
And we have wetland areas along the river, so there's a lot of wildlife. We have white egret, blue heron. Occasionally we have a pelican.
Not to mention active development all along the riverbanks.
There is, of course, the American Indian Cultural Center that's going up that will one day have docks where we can take people to the cultural center. There is, of course, the Boathouse Row. We have the Devon Boathouse, the Chesapeake Boathouse, the Finish Line Tower.
Perhaps the best time to take in these sights is in the evening time, as the shadows stretch out and the light becomes golden.
We have sunset cruises every Friday and Saturday night from 7:30 to 9.
Included in the price of your sunset cruise ticket is all-you-can-eat hors d'oeuvres, and there's a cash bar available. But most importantly, your ticket also includes glimpses of our capital city, your city, from a new perspective, and perhaps at its most magical. Traveling the Oklahoma River in Oklahoma City, I'm Shel Wagner.
Oklahoma River Cruises operate seasonally Wednesday through Sunday and offer a wide variety of experiences for couples or for the whole family. We'll link you to their website for all the information you need. Just go to discoveroklahomatv.com.
That's good. Who produced it? Who produced the video? They did it? They did a good job. That's very good. Very good.
I certainly hope, Captain, that the wake behind that one boat was there to create the wind and the hair of the people on the front. Okay. All right.
The kayakers like the wake, though. They seek it out.
You want to give us a quick update on the break-in?
Yeah, we had a little excitement coming to work Monday morning to discover that someone decided to take the Devon Discovery for an evening cruise unattended. They broke the window in the wheelhouse, got inside, and it's a complicated process to start these boats. You have to mess with enough switches, know what you're doing to be able to get it to start, and the same thing to get the throttles to engage, but somehow they figured it out. And eventually, you know, the Finish Line Tower is just on the south side of the river from that. They beached it up against the rocks and left. Very little damage. Satellite radio was stolen. Everything else will be back in order by this afternoon. So we were very, very lucky that there wasn't any tagging or anything. Of course, that was the boat we just freshly painted 2 months ago, but we're still very fortunate and feel good that not a lot was done.
Jeannie, do we have any cameras or anything down there? Do we have any security devices?
Chesapeake Boathouse, which was also vandalized, has video of the young people who went on the adventure.
Gosh, what a shame.
Yeah. And we have cameras at Exchange where we normally keep the boats. We were keeping a boat at Regatta Park for visibility so that, because you can't see the boats at all at Exchange unless you're on the trail. So we thought we'd keep one at Regatta Park, and we may reconsider that now. Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to give you a brief update on how we're doing business-wise. Our total number of riders, we were showing some strong growth in April and May. June was about the same as it was last year. We suspect that was due to the heat. Overall, April was up by 16% and May was up by 30%. In our riders per trip, which measures our efficiency, it was up quite a bit in April and May and slightly up in June. And this is because we do, every year we look at trips, which trips don't work, which trips do work, and pare down the schedule or extend the schedule in one direction or the other. We've opened up a lot of evening cruises on Friday and Saturday, and we're getting very good ridership there, so that looks like something that will continue. By the way, I put a line on this graph to show our break-even point for paying for crew and fuel, which is about 5.9 riders. And, of course, April, it's tough to do that because you're just starting up, but we intend to stay above that line for the rest of the year. Charters are down a little bit this year as far as total charters. We had quite a bit of bad weather. We canceled 4 charters in April and 3 in May due to bad weather. 4 in one day were canceled in May because of severe storms. However, we have managed to accommodate almost 1,500 people this year versus 1,200 people last year, so we at least got some more exposure than we did last year. Our Sunset and Live Entertainment ridership is up dramatically. This, of course, is partially due to the Groupon that we offered last year. Now, that Groupon expired at the end of June, so now our challenge is to keep that number going up. July is going to be a challenge because that's when the Groupon started last year. We also, by adding Edgar Cruz to our live entertainment and getting some better-known local artists for that venue, we're doing much better on that. This is something we're very encouraged by. April and May of the 2010 season, only 30% of our riders were adults. During that same period, we've got that up to 48%. Now, these are scheduled service riders, so this isn't including Sunset Cruise, live entertainment, things that would naturally attract adults. This is scheduled service, so this is very exciting to see that we're getting into the demographic that we really want. This is our new website that launched yesterday. I would encourage you to, if you have a chance, to go to it. It's very nice, very professional, very clean. We're very happy with it. It includes some YouTube videos, so if you go to the Cruise with Edgar page, you can actually watch Edgar play the guitar. And then, of course, there's a page that gives the schedule for the next 5 days, which is good. You don't have to go straight to the ticketing site to get an idea. If you're going to be traveling further down, next month or something like that, you can, of course, always go to the web page and look for those dates and get it scheduled. And this links to the Devon site. It links to Shakespeare in the Park, the Oklahoma History Center. We have links to Go Metro so you can see what buses or trolleys connect with the boat for your trip. And that's all I have for you today. That's all my hard work. I had one more thing I wanted to share with you, is that our revenue per rider is up by $2.24 per rider. Last year we averaged about $11.50 per rider, and this year it's almost $14. So we're very encouraged by that.
Good. Thank you. Any questions, Jeannie? Thank you, Jeannie. Good video, good report. Thank you. Need a motion to receive the update, please. Then move in second. Record your vote. Approve unanimously. Next item is to receive report and assignment of agreement with Commercial Segway Tours of Oklahoma Rivers, new owner, Sure Beach Walking, LLC.
Right. The former owner of the Segway Tours, who only didn't have a very active business, has sold it to another group, and they're working up an assignment agreement right now between the two. And we trust that's approvable by the general manager?
Yes, the assignment is approvable by the general manager.
Okay, so we just need to receive it?
You're just receiving this report,
Okay.
And I'm telling you, it's my intent to
Right.
execute that assignment when it comes through. I think that the new owner may be a little more aggressive and more active than the previous one.
Okay. Need a motion? Then move in second. Record your vote. It's approved unanimously. Item C is to approve a lease agreement with the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority, City of Oklahoma City, and the Board of County Commissioners, Oklahoma County, for the Sheriff's Department on property located northeast 36th, approximately northeast 36th and Air Depot Boulevard.
We've had a contract with the Sheriff's Office since '87. They want to make it more of a training facility down there, so this is modifying the agreement. It also, if we terminate it, it's a buyout provision if we terminate the agreement early. It's right next to the Delisi's facility down there. We've been working with Delisi. At one point, Delisi thought they might want to have that area and do some more mining in it. They did some testing in the area and decided that really wasn't an area they wanted to go into. So based upon that information, we decided to go ahead and make a recommendation to contract with the Sheriff's Department.
Need a motion? Then move second. Any discussion? Record your vote. It's approved unanimously. Item D is to approve a contract between Oklahoma City Riverfront Development Authority and Triad Design Group for professional engineering services. Same, just an extension?
Well, no, we actually, this is not an extension. We actually,
I know you know, Gabe,
their
but I
term,
mean-
so we went through and did a new selection process, and Triad prevailed in that process.
I meant by extension, have them keep going.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I meant, yeah. Are you okay with this, Don? Yes, sir. Okay. Then moved and seconded, discussion. Put your vote. It's approved unanimously. Thank you. Claims docket you have before you. Been moved and seconded. Any comments, questions? Record your vote. It's approved unanimously. Development, Director of Development, he had to run, I told him to take off. The Western Association of Highway and Transportation officials are in town and asked him to make a presentation. It was first scheduled for 2:30, and then it got changed yesterday today to 1:30, and he is doing that. And so you'll see his report in writing. If you have any comments, I think you can probably get a hold of him, but he's out doing the Lord's work for the River Trust today. So you need a motion to receive his report. It's approved unanimously. Thank you. Any comments by trustees? Citizens? Yeah, Gary. Okay. Okay, I'll call him.
And I would clearly recommend that Rand definitely speak part of that discussion as well.
Okay.
When did that come up from Leadership Oklahoma? I thought it was going in Bicentennial Park.
This is Leadership Oklahoma, not Leadership Oklahoma City? Okay.
All right. It's, kind of going back to the conversation we had before, I think we want to be very cautious that the river doesn't just become a sort of a repository for things that people don't know where else to put them.
Does Leadership OKC have a place in mind, or is that the question? Okay.
Southeast 6th Street.
Okay.
Be down there by the parking lot or entrance off of Shield.
Right, and they're working with the architect and the Boathouse Foundation to make sure it's acceptable, but this trust needs to be plugged in too.
Okay, I'll call him. Okay. Any other items? We're adjourned. Thank you.